Richie, and you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
The Knockem Day Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Day.
Behind the bag, it gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag.
Telling all your friends the party never ends. Knockem Day, Knockem Day, comedy show.
Hi, everybody. Sorry. Sorry, we're just doing our show here. It's, we got a lot going on here today. Don Sill is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Hasib and Praise are here.
Yes, what's up, fellows?
We are, so as I mentioned to you guys, we're filming a TV show called Christina Can. I've been pushing it like crazy. We got the big show. Before I get into any of that stuff, I'm starting right off the bat. I'm going to yell at Hasib. What's with the Cincinnati Reds hat?
It's just.
We're in New York. You're from New York.
Yeah, I am. But when you
Are you styling?
Nah. When you're a kid from Harlem, you just match the colors. Yeah.
Oh, so you are. You're styling.
Yeah. It don't matter the team. You just match the colors.
See, I got a big problem with that. Now, when you grow up in Harlem? So, what do you mean? Like Harlem? I know Harlem to be like a rough area. Is that correct or no?
Nah. Well, I know Harlem to be. Harlem for me growing up was the greatest place on earth.
Oh yeah.
You saw all the superstars, whether they were celebrities or drug dealers. You saw all the superstars.
Sometimes the same.
Yeah. You know, sometimes the same. You grow up in the era where, you know, my family, you know, I grew up in St. Nicholas Projects.
Okay.
On 129th. I grew up in, you're familiar with the New Jack Swing, Teddy Riley.
Oh,
I grew up in the same building as Teddy Riley. So I actually watched him create the New Jack Swing.
Wow.
Like, but before that, my uncles, they were celebrities within themselves. My uncle played for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Really?
Yeah. I had one uncle who was
What's his name?
His name was Billy Bang Bang Meggett.
Billy Bang Bang Meggett.
Yeah.
You showed me the other day.
He's in the Hall of Fame and
Really?
and different things like that. And then my other uncle Gene and my uncle, they all play basketball. So
shout out to Uncle Gene.
Yeah. So, Uncle Gene, he won the MVP up at the Rucker. My Uncle Billy would always say, that's the only thing my little brother did that I didn't do. He won the MVP up at the Rucker. And then you got
at the Rucker?
Rucker tournament.
Oh.
You know, the world famous Rucker tournament,
Yeah.
155th. And so, you know, like I grew up around some guys that they were really movers and shakers. And so I always grew up watching people do stuff.
Wow.
And so, you know, this is all you see, and this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'm still not accepting it though. You realize that we're in New York. It's got to be Yankees or Mets or Knicks or Giants or something.
I'm from Harlem. I don't live in New York anymore. Like,
see, we're in all sorts of trouble. See, you flat left us.
in the Queen City now.
Yeah. I'm in Charlotte right now. I got a lot more peace and I got more bang for my buck, and you know, my kids get to grow up and be kids. You know what I'm saying? And you know, New York for me is it's a nice place to visit.
All right. Now, and he's also got the Muhammad Ali. Have you ever told him your Muhammad Ali story?
I don't think I ever did. So
never. I love this story. No matter how many times I hear it.
This story goes back to like 90s, like 1990, 1991 or whatever. And there was a movie called Gladiator, not the Russell Crowe one. There was another movie called Gladiator about street fighting. And at the time, I was in karate class or whatever. So me and my brother and a couple of friends, we all went to the city to audition for this movie Gladiator. So on the way back, and that whole story is a whole nother debacle where there was all these, remember the Guardian Angels?
Yeah.
There's all these Guardian Angels that were also online. You know, we're all on the line waiting to audition, and they're all acting like mean mugging. And, you know, I thought they were the good guys. They were like some mean sons of bitches. But anyway, I went up there to audition. They go, so you're in karate? I go, yeah. They go, show us some moves. And I choked, and I'm just like.
You choked, really?
Like I was doing some like corny ass stuff. I completely tried to do a kick that was really bad. I swear the producer was just like, oh my God, all right, next, please. So it was a big, long waste of time. So on the ride home, we're passing Hofstra University, and we saw a sign that said, you know, Muhammad Ali and Sandy Koufax are signing autographs. And we looked at the clock, and it said like from noon to 3. We looked at the clock, it was like 3. It was like, you know, 5 to 3. So we're like, we still got time, man, let's go. So we pull into the parking lot. And this is before 9/11, before the world was nuts. Like, you know, it was a lot looser, believe it or not, for the younger ones out there. But anyway, we start walking in, and this guard, because we parked and we're walking around the building, and this guard who's like backstage, blocking the backstage door, goes, guys, it's going to close in like 5 minutes. He's like, you know, I don't know if it's worth your time. We're like, oh, he's like, you know what? Just come, don't bother paying. Just come in through here. So we go in through the back door. And as we're walking, all of a sudden, what's up, Leslie?
Yes. Why, you want to come say hi?
No. We were just wondering if we could move something over here.
Where?
That little locker thing. We just want to move it a little forward.
Okay.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just mark where you move this. We can move it back. All right, very cool. So we got Leslie and her whole team out there. We're getting ready to shoot a reality show today, Christina Ken. But just fit to put cap on the story. So we walk in backstage, and there's the back of Muhammad Ali. We're behind him. So there's a line of people in front of him, right, all waiting. And he's signing autographs. So I see the back of his head. So I'm like, oh, snap, we're backstage, and there's Muhammad Ali. So I don't know what the hell happened. Me and my brother just kind of got this weird thing overtook us both. And next thing I know, I'm standing behind Muhammad Ali. I'm massaging his shoulders. And he's letting me. He's just like, all right. So then I'm just there. I'm like, holy shit. I'm looking at my brother. I'm like, can't believe. So then.
Then you had sex with him?
So then he stands up. They tell everybody thank you, and he stands up and he looks over and he points to my ex-girlfriend and he brings her over, he hugs her. Then he starts walking out, and as he's walking out, again, he's about like as tall as I am, so I'm like 6 foot. His shoulders were here. So however tall Muhammad Ali is, I remember specifically, his shoulders were right here. And I'm rubbing his shoulders. Yeah, I remember. It's like ingrained. Like that's So we're walking down the hallway, and as I'm rubbing his shoulders, my brother somehow got a hold of his hand.
Right.
And my brother's massaging his hand while he's walking. And Muhammad Ali had the Parkinson's, so he's kind of, like a little wobbly.
Was that your Parkinson's impression?
So my brother's rubbing his hand. He goes, "This is the hand that knocked out George Foreman and this and that." And he's going on. And my brother's like naming every single fight Muhammad Ali ever had. So we walk him all the way to his limo. The limo driver opens it. I feel like I could have, if I wanted to, gotten in the limo. That's how like I was just accepted into Muhammad's entourage. I feel like I literally could have gotten in if I wanted to. It's like
they're all wondering who these people are, but he couldn't say anything. He's probably panicking in his head.
But it's funny because there, Sandy Koufax was there too. We met him in the parking lot right after that. But also there was Willie Mays, and I think somebody said, no, not Willie Mays, Rudy May. Remember Rudy May from the Yankees? Yeah. So Rudy May was there, and Rudy May came over to say hi to Muhammad. And I'm telling you, even with the Parkinson's, I think Muhammad might have thought they said sugar rays. Anyway, Muhammad starts throwing jabs, like fast. And I was like, damn, he still got it. But anyway, so we massages all the way to the limo. He's signing autographs for this kid. And I actually remember Muhammad gave this kid a dirty look, and my brother was like, "Stop with the autographs!" Like we're all of a sudden, like protecting Muhammad Ali. My brother's like, "That's enough with the autographs, all right? Let me get back to this hand rub." So, but yeah, that's the Muhammad Ali. I met him another time also, where I actually paid to see him,
and he looked up at you and was like,
"Yeah." He's like, well, at that time it's funny. You can finally saw my YouTube too. He does a magic trick. It's a really bad magic trick he does. He has a scarf, he puts it in his thumb, and then he goes like this, and it's gone, but you see like a big fake thumb. But also we got pictures with him, and for the second time, so the first time nothing will ever beat that because I was massaging him. I walked into his car, all this weird
you
stuff.
Me Too'd him, basically.
I did. I gave. If I would have gotten a limo, I may have lap danced him. I don't know. No, but anyway, so the second time was in Manhattan, and I said, "You're the greatest of all time," and he just kind of looked. Then he gets up to take a picture with me. He gets up fast, and then we literally like this to each other, and I look him in the eyes, and I've never had this real feeling come over me like this where I'm not worthy. Wow. It dawned on me. I got my fists up to the greatest fighter that ever lived. Right. And I just was like, "Oh, I'm not worthy of this." I just shook his hand. So I got this picture of me shaking his hand. My dad was like, "Yeah, come on, fuck it." my dad's got a great picture of them toe to toe. But yeah,
why was he doing a magic trick?
Well, that's what he always did.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Like I was telling you, while you were talking, and pardon me for looking down, but my grand uncle was a great friend of his.
Oh, no kidding.
Wow.
Here's a picture of them too.
Oh,
and actually, my grand uncle Al Hollywood Meggett
Yeah.
That's my uncle and Mr. Ali. And that's him. With
Is that
Sugar
the
Ray.
same guy, the Globetrotters?
No.
Oh.
That's my. This is what I told you. My
It was
family.
same name.
Yeah, no. Well, Meggett.
Meggett,
Last
yeah,
name.
yeah.
That's him with Ali.
Wow, very cool.
Right.
Show the
Right. Yep. Right here.
the folks at home.
If you don't mind. Yeah.
That's him with Ali.
Nice.
This is him with Sugar Ray.
Nice, Sugar Ray.
And
Cool.
Was he a boxer also?
He was a trainer. It's him with Evander Holyfield.
Oh,
And he
nice.
actually had the opportunity to train Muhammad Ali back in the days.
Really?
And my uncle was the first. My uncles. This was my grand uncle.
Okay.
He lived until he was 90. In Charleston, South Carolina. He passed away a couple of years ago.
God bless. God bless.
Wow.
And he bought boxing. Like, he would tell fighters, like, I'm gonna take you to the Garden. But he brought boxing to Charleston and made that the Garden.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And
He brought the Garden to Charleston.
and what's in Charleston? Like, what arena is
Charleston,
there?
South Carolina? They have the municipal auditorium and
Okay.
different things like that. But it was on. They had a couple of shows that was broadcast on MSG.
Oh,
That
okay.
he brought, and like my other uncle, the one that was the Harlem Globetrotter, he also went on to do a lot of great things. Like in college, he was a basketball star. He he grew up with the cats out, and he went to Memphis. So he was out there with the Stax crew, like
now you're talking my
he was,
language. I love that
Al
stuff.
Green.
Yeah,
and
baby.
He would tell me stories about Al Green. He would be Isaac Hayes.
Sure.
And why
Yeah.
Isaac Hayes was the big star.
Yeah.
And all that. And Al Green used to be back in the back
Yeah.
before Al Green was the star. He'd be like, Al's in
Yeah.
the back doing something.
Yeah.
Legends.
But he would tell me all kinds of stories, man. And like growing up hearing these stories, my uncle, him and Rick James had a concert promotion company called You and I Promotions. And he was the first to bring Prince to Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow. Damn.
So and then so he grew up I grew up watching all this stuff. Like he was the man, and he had the key to the city. But then he got caught in the largest drug bust in South Carolina history at the time. You know what I'm saying? And he got ran out because he was sleeping with, because he was a playboy.
Hey, that's what they call a well-rounded life, right?
Yeah. He lived it, man. He lived it. So.
Did any of these uncles tell you about some weirdo massaging Muhammad's
Nah.
shoulders?
But here's what I always learned from my uncles, and one of my uncles got mad. My Uncle Gene got mad at me because I told him one day, I said, you know what, Unc? I learned from you guys what not to do.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
got mad. What you talk about? I said, no, it's not a bad thing. I said, some of the greatest lessons I've learned in life were from people what not to do. I had one of my mentors is I don't know if you guys remember the song "Walking in the Rain," Orange Juice Jones.
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
Yeah, one of my
Walking
mentors.
in
He's
the
one of
rain.
yeah. He's one of my mentors, and he told me. He said Russell didn't jerk me. He gave me what I asked for, and he said he didn't rob me.
There's a bad deal going on.
Yeah, it's a bad
yeah,
deal.
yeah,
So he said he gave me what I asked for. And so when he told me that, I learned when somebody asks you what you want, I'm not telling them what I want.
Right, you
Not what I
asked.
settle for.
Right.
Because he said, he asked for a certain amount of money. Russell gave it to him, but the record grossed millions.
Yeah, sure.
Blew up. Man.
Yeah,
That song was huge.
So I learned my biggest lessons from people is what not to do.
And then to bring Prince over.
Oh yeah, that was my uncle. Yeah, they brought him. The first to bring.
I still miss Prince, man.
Yeah.
Incredible.
My uncle,
One of the greatest.
my uncles are amazing cats. My uncles on my mom's side. God bless them. My mom's brothers. They are amazing cats, man. They all gone. Only one is still remaining. My Uncle Gene. Amazing cat. Like my Uncle Gene was Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
Yeah, right.
Like he could
Yeah.
pull up from anywhere, from 30 feet anywhere. His jump shot was the purest jump shot I ever seen in my life.
Really?
Wow.
And all athletes, like I said, I watched them. Like and then my Uncle Billy's friends were cats that they make movies about today, like Pee Wee Kirkland. You know what I'm saying? All these cats famous cats that are known for basketball, but they were also known for drug dealing.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they were the kings of the time. You know what I'm saying? They were the kings of the time, and that's who I grew up watching. You know, that's what I grew up watching and seeing success. And then I'm a couple of blocks from 125th Street, like I'm around the corner from the Apollo, so I can go walk there and see all these celebrities and all these stars. And so when you're little and you can see that, you inspire to be that.
Absolutely.
And
so much history in that place.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So it's
unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's
And then you took your son away from all that.
No, because it's not that anymore.
It's not the same anymore, man.
It's not that anymore. It's a whole different vibe.
So
man.
how did you two end up?
Well, it's crazy because another legend, icon, hip hop icon, Daddy-O from the group Stetsasonic.
Daddy-O, shout out.
Introduced us, and we were and I think Don was introduced to Daddy-O from YZ.
YZ, another legend.
Another hip hop connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? And so
the Ghetto's been good to me.
Yeah.
One of his best. I love that song.
Yeah. And so what happened was Don and Daddy-O was working together, and Don had the show Kankasaurus.
The Kankasaurus
Oh, right,
thing.
yeah.
And I thought it was brilliant.
It was good, yeah.
I'm a comedy guy. I watch everything that's supposed to be funny.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If they say this is funny, I'm watching it. Because I love comedy. I love to laugh. And I saw that.
That's him too, man.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was like, yo, this is dope. And at the time, Praise was like 11 years old.
Yeah.
Now,
We
Praise.
really get it. We never.
Praise. I said, yo, my son. He got because Praise was in his creative thing since young.
Yeah.
At 11, he had his own nationally syndicated segment on radio.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and I saw that because he was doing stuff on YouTube, and I was like, man, this is good. So some people that I knew at a company called United Stations Radio Network, they did comedy and stuff like that. I would do parody songs, I'd done a bunch of stuff, and I was like, man, you got to see Praise's stuff, and then. She saw what he was doing on YouTube, and I didn't see the skit, and we both just fell out laughing. And she's like, and she called Buddy, I forgot his name. You guys may know him. He's another comedian. And Buddy's like, he's like, man, can you do a meeting Thursday? And I was like, yeah. And so from there, Praise had a segment called Kid Thoughts with PK Money. That was his alien.
Wow.
And so he did that. And so I was like, man, yo, my son do this. I said, yo, and I came up with a episode where the Kankasaurs are getting a record deal from this 10-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
And then, but the 10-year-old kid don't talk. He had a 300-pound bodyguard where they was talking to him and the bodyguard speaks.
Right.
Like they can't speak to
He's
him.
like, sign the papers.
Yeah.
Like,
So I had this, but we never got a chance to do it.
Yeah,
but
we had it scripted out too.
Yeah, but dealing with him and Daddy-O, like, cause I managed Daddy-O, and so me and him just began to always have build a relationship, just to say, hey, what's up, man? Hey, and then he had did some work for Daddy-O, and I came up with this idea for a Puma campaign. And one day, like, I woke up with it, and I thought it was genius.
It's brilliant, dude. It's, how he connected Puma to hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
he wrote it, and
I wrote it, I voiced it, and then 'cause
brilliant.
I'm a voiceover artist as well, and I written and produced commercials and rapped them or whatever since I was 17. That's how I came into the business of advertisement. I grew up in advertisement. So, I did it, and I called Don. I'm like, yo, man, I got this idea. And he said, man, that's brilliant. And then that same day we had a spot. And
I remember calling him up after he sent me and I was like, yo, who was the guy that did the voiceover? It's so good. And you're like, it's me, man. Like, he was like, what are you talking about? It was me. You didn't know that? Like, you didn't expect me to be good?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that came out awesome, man.
Yeah, and we actually had a meeting with Puma. They didn't move on it, but it's cool. Maybe it wasn't time yet.
Sure.
And hopefully, but then, we just kept building on our relationships. And then I told him about, this idea. Because when he told me about Porters, I'm going, yo, that's dope.
Yeah, we got another idea called Porters. We're trying to make that into a series.
Yeah. The idea. Yeah, and so then I came up, like, I knew Christina for a long time, and we always talked about doing something. And one day, I hadn't talked to her for a while, and then I called her. And I was like, hey, man, what do you think about us doing this, and this? And she was like, oh, that's dope. And then the next day I had the idea, and I called Don. I was like, yo, what you think about this idea? He said, yo, we should start with that first.
Okay.
And so here we are. We wrote it up, built it, and here we are.
Nice.
Right on.
Here we are. And they got some people coming. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
And
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
just tell everybody about Christina Ken. It's what we're filming today. It's like a reality show with Christina Holloway, who is a faith-based gospel soul singer. She's got records out. You can find her on YouTube and all that stuff. I think she was nominated for a few awards throughout her career.
Yeah.
She's pretty awesome, and she's got a great personality. And basically, the premise of the show is that Christina can go outside of her comfort zone, and she could take on big things, the things that she normally wouldn't do. Sorry, there's a lot of people coming through, but anyway, so in this particular episode, we got Christina is going to get out of her comfort zone and try stand-up comedy. Now, she's literally in real life is terrified to do stand-up comedy.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, she's very nervous.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the thing...
Was that her walking
I
around?
think that was her makeup artist,
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken.
She looked pretty hot.
Yeah.
We big budget, big time over here.
There you
We
go.
got
Yeah. Makeup artist.
Makeup artist, all kinds of
Cruise,
stuff.
yeah.
A lot of action going on back there.
She looked hot. Tony is funny. Tony is stupid funny. When you were telling your Muhammad Ali story, Tony was over there dying.
Oh, I love that story.
He was
No
just-
matter
he was
how
like,
many times I hear it.
Me too.
Well, and I never heard the part about his brother. Enough with the autographs. I've never heard that part.
That was when we get it. And I was going to go on and say that my brother wanted me to rob that dude. Did I ever tell you that part of it?
What?
Yeah, so this guy had a stack of sports. So we'll go back to the Ali thing. This kid had a stack of Sports Illustrateds of Ali's whole career. And me and my brother collected Sports Illustrateds, who oddly enough, they're going out of business.
Yes, I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's
just
crazy.
laid off their entire staff.
Yep.
Ah.
But me and my brother used to call them Illies, and we're like, "Yo, we got all these, we got Mike Tyson Illies. We have all these Sports Illustrated." My brother ended up keeping them when we, grew up or whatever. But when we lived in the same house, we shared them all, and we had Sports Illustrateds. So many people autographed the Sports Illustrateds. We met everybody, right? So this kid had very rare Sports Illustrateds, like the first. I think Ali might be on one of the first covers of Sports Illustrated ever. And this kid had like two of them, and he had like every Ali. So Ali signing them all. And then my brother was finally like, "Yo, man, enough with the autographs." Like, reprimanded the guy. Meanwhile, we're not really part of the entourage. Now when we're leaving now, we met Sandy Koufax in the parking lot on our way to the car. We saw Sandy Koufax, and he's just walking to his car, just like anybody else. And we're like,
wow.
"Oh, Sandy!" We had him sign something. He's actually signed the back of my headshot from that audition that we just went on and brought a few headshots. Anyway, just so you the sequence of events. I get into the car. We're getting ready to go. We see that kid with all the Sports Illustrateds walking. My brother was always the good one, and I was always the bad one, right? And so my brother goes to me, Don. He's like, "That kid's got all those Sports Illustrateds." I go, "Yeah, I saw." He's like, why don't you rob him, take him?" I'm like, "What?" He's
I love how he says for you to do
"Yeah, he
it.
wants me to because I'm the bad one." Like, of course, Don would do it.
Tapped you 2 times, like, hey.
Yeah. So he's like, "Rob that kid." So I see him. So we're literally creeping in the car, like real slow.
For real?
Yeah, I was actually contemplating it. So
What are you going to do, run him over?
No,
What do you mean?
I was gonna, because the kid now Hofstra University, where it used to be, is the parking lot, and then there's like a little bit of like trees and grass and bushes to go to the next parking lot. So that kid was going through those bushes. So I remember saying to my brother, if he goes in those bushes, I'll do it. And then I was thinking, like, I'm actually playing it out in my head. Now, meanwhile, my girlfriend's in the back going, "You better not, Don. You better not." And
That's sick.
and that's Sarah. Remember, so my first wife and mother of my first 2 kids. She was just my girlfriend then. Anyway, we're creeping up, and she's like, "You better not." I was like, "I want those Illustrateds." Greg's like, "Get the Illies, man." Like, my brother knew how to.
Illies.
Yeah, he's like, "Get the Illies, man. Get the Illies." So I literally pull all the way up. So the kid's just getting into the woods part. Like, it's not really the woods. It's, you know what I mean? It's like,
I know what you're talking about.
Like
Yeah.
a bush.
yeah, he's getting ready to cross over to the next parking lot, and I pull in right behind him and park. Like, there's the parking lot, the curb, and then there's the trees. So I'm like, Nah, I can't do this, Greg. I can't do this, Greg. I can't. My brother was actually disappointed that I didn't do it.
That you didn't rob somebody.
That I didn't rob
kid.
this guy.
Not just somebody.
He was like, when I say kid, he's probably like our age. Like at the time, I was in what? How old was I? 91, like 20, 21. So he was around my age, I'd say.
Yeah, like
give or take.
11.
Yeah, no, not that young. If he was 11, I would have taken him. No. If he was 11, he would not have had those magazines. This kid was probably about our age or maybe a little older.
How funny would it be if you did attempt and all of a sudden he's like, "Whoa!"
Well, that was also my fear. What if I
call back to the karate.
Right?
And I was also looking around too for witnesses. I like, dude, we were serious for a split second. I was like looking around. I'm like, all right, there's no witnesses. No one's here to protect this guy. Like, the last thing I wanted was if I'm taking this guy's shit, and then other people jump on me or whatever. And then I'm getting my ass beat, and then I get arrested. That's the worst. You get your ass kicked, then arrested. I'll never do it again. And my brother's just sitting there going, I don't know what got over him.
He's jumping in the driver's seat and taking off.
Yeah, my brother.
Right out of here, Sarah.
Dude, another thing happened like that with my brother. We met, what's his name? Cohn, David Cohn.
Oh, sure.
The pitcher from the Yankees.
And the Mets.
And the Mets, yep, yeah. And my brother was, wanted this David Cohn autograph or whatever, and I wanted an interview with him because I was heavily inspired by Howard Stern and Stuttering John, how they did ambush interviews, and I loved it, the art of that. So we did it to interviewed a lot of people. And one day I should release those if I can find them, and you can see like all the people we did it to, like Paul Reiser, who got me thrown out of a bookstore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then there's been a couple. I can't think of them all right now. Anne Rice, she wrote Interview with a Vampire and all. But anyway, so this was David Cohn. So we're in the parking lot, and I try to get to David Cohn, and they keep stopping me, and I threw a fit. And I said, David Cohn, you suck. You're not even that good. What do you think? You are the freaking president? You suck.
My goodness.
So David Cohn was like, the fuck? So he got to his car. I got walked to my car by security. They like walked behind me, and the whole time I'm throwing this big fit. Meanwhile, I'm acting like I'm hot shit, but meanwhile I'm going into this piece of junk station wagon. Like the guys are like, this is what this guy thinks he's hot shit. Look at the car he's getting. It's like but anyway, so as I'm leaving, where me and my brother were at a light, and and this is on what road is this? Like 347 or something like that.
Okay.
And I look over, and there's David Cohn in his car. So I start honking the horn. I'm giving him the finger and all stuff.
Oh my god!
And then David Cohn just looks at us, and then as soon as the light turns green, because I was trying to chase him down to the neck, because 347's light. There's a lot.
You're trying to chase him
in
down.
my shitty station wagon. And David Cohn, I don't know what he was driving, but he was just like, he just looked over at me, and then when light turned green, like flew, and I'm like, and I keep telling my brother there'll be another red light. And then my brother really wanted his autograph because he had Illy. So I looked over at him. I go, you still got that illustrated? He goes, yeah. I go, all right, next light, we're going to get it signed. And I'm like, trying to catch up. But yeah, that's twice my brother was there at some really weird moments. But we never robbed the kid or man or whatever because he was probably about our age or a little older. But we never robbed the guy. Thank God. I never robbed anyone in my life, just for the record.
Good to know.
Yeah, thank God I never did. That was probably the closest I ever came to actually considering it. And that was because I blame my brother. No, I'm just kidding. God bless him. My brother's passed away. He's up in heaven. He's probably laughing at the story or I probably messed it up. He's like, dude, you left out so much stuff.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't if you remember correctly.
It was your idea.
Yeah. But yeah, so Muhammad Ali, it was a great day. I'm glad it would have tainted the whole story had I actually robbed somebody. I would have just messed it all up. But I would have had some cool illustrateds.
Dang, Sports Illustrated's gone out of business. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's sad, man. So now, all right. So what's the deal now? You were doing nationally syndicated radio at 10 years old.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I ain't gonna lie. That was like my first time getting some bread. Like that was my first
you were 10. It was your first time doing anything.
He's already in the business, man.
And it was
Holy
like
crap.
I was fun.
Yeah,
I was fun. It was like okay, like.
Tell us before he comes back. Did your father take all your money?
No. I was like that was a big thing too. It was like all right, we're gonna sign this contract, and then it was like all right. break it down to me in layman's terms. When we get back into the car, it's like, all right, for the jokes that you write, this amount. For the joke that you don't write, this amount. I was like, all right, cool, we good.
Right.
And
So, yeah, all right, well, let me stop you there. What exactly what was the show? What were you doing?
I was basically just in the studio, and I would have like jokes that I wrote down, and I would just basically like around that time Vine was popping, so
Okay.
it was just like Vine on the radio. Like it was actually a very creative ass idea. Like I was basically just set up, punchline. I'm out of there. Like 'cause
At 10 years old, you were writing jokes?
yeah, and I was just taking Vine stuff and I was just doing it on Instagram. But if I was doing it on Vine, I would probably have a different story to tell because there was a lot of Vine stars. But
Right.
I just was doing it on Instagram. Instagram has always been like that primary platform for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they see my stuff, and I was like 10, 11, going up to a building in Harlem, like the lobby smelled nice. It was just like, all right, like we're doing this. And
Yeah, Vine was popping back in the day.
yeah. And I was just like, all right, after Catholic school, I'm going up to Manhattan. It's like getting a 99-cent pizza, doing my job, and going. Like, I'm getting paid. It was nice.
And then, and how did it end? Like, what happened?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. It wasn't. I think I just stopped writing the jokes. I don't think I did that job for like a long time. I think that it was like 6 months maybe, or like, it was cool. Then like checks just started stopping. And it was like, all right, like,
That mailbox money.
yeah, like on to the next. Like I guess I'm gonna just focus on on like the third grade. Like I went back to like just regular life. It was just
Yeah,
like,
we
all
were
right, cool.
supposed to do the Cankersaurs, man, and like what someone was mentioning was all accurate, man. So I remember, I was working with Daddy-O, sent Hasib I called him up the first time I ever called him up. It was because he was Daddy-O's manager,
And you were both in, like, you guys were already in North Carolina. You were there, obviously, right?
This was when I was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was in Atlanta, and Daddy-O was in Atlanta, and that's where I met.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I met YZ. Props to YZ. I love that dude, and because he really got the ball rolling. He's the one that got me in touch with like Ed Lover and like so many hip hop legends.
This was before or after we shot the video for Daddy.
That
was my first time.
just
meeting.
before that. This is why I got that video with Daddy-O,
Okay.
because I wanted Daddy-O to be in an episode of Cankersaurs. Daddy-O and YZ connected me to Daddy-O, and then Daddy-O was like, "Yo, you got to call my man Sib and set it all up." So I was like, "All right." So I call up your dad, and then he was like, "All right, well, it's going to cost this much money to get Daddy-O." And I said, "Well, could we work in trade?" I go, "I'm a video editor. I'll do it in trade." He goes, "Huh?" Your dad's wheels start spinning, and he's like, "Let me call you back." So he gets off the phone and calls me back, and he says, "Yeah, we could work something out. Daddy-O wants a music video done. Are you down to do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll definitely do that." And in my mind, I'm like, "Get to work with Daddy-O? This be freaking awesome." So that's when we did the played out video,
I remember that.
and that was an awesome experience.
I was the youngest person there.
Yeah, you were a young kid. That's when I met you and all that.
Just like today.
And then when he saw the Cankersaur stuff, he loved it. And then he wanted to move more on the Cankersaurs, and he was a big proponent of pushing the Cankersaurs forward. Kind of gave me some momentum, gave me some like, yeah, man, if Hasib believes in this, man. Because I remember that conversation we had. The first time we had a long conversation, must have been like an hour and a half. And he was just telling me about, yo, you got something here, man. You're a star. And I'm like, this guy believes me. I remember actually at one point thinking, is this guy an angel or something? Who is this guy?
I am.
Yeah, you are, bro. And I was like, this is awesome. So I remember after I was phone with you, I called Johnny G, and I'm like, yo, man, because I was in Atlanta. Johnny G was still in North Carolina. I was like, yo, you got to come to Atlanta. We got to start doing some stuff. We got everything's here. I told him to talk to this guy, and he was just telling me, man, to utilize all the resources we have, all the hip hop, because hip hop was banging in Atlanta at the time.
No, that was around the time where it first that was when everybody was like
Outkast, T.I., Little John, like people were just popping. Bone Crusher became a good friend of mine out there, and so all these cats, but then and that's when we got the episode popping that you were supposed to be on, which was going to be awesome. So we needed like a record. He's like a record deal or something like that. He was going to get us the deal, and but he's also pushing his line of swag. Remember?
Yeah.
That whole thing. So yeah. those are good times, man. And fast forward to now, we've been working on a few projects together. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good work we've done, and now this is the first actual like shoot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is ours.
Yeah.
Right.
Like this is ours.
Yeah, both of
and,
our.
and
Yeah.
Where some of the stuff we've been lending our hands to. I'm a producer on a project that's about the life of two of my mentors, Tunde and Taharka Aleem, and their life with Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about
Yeah,
that because I'm a
yeah.
huge Hendrix guy.
Yeah. And so with that project, it's some huge names attached to it. And it looks like we're getting ready to start. And it's been in the works for a couple of years now. And we're ready to rock and roll. And I brought Don into that because I needed my partners over there to see what my partner can do. So when the budget opens up, you know what I'm saying, we can so
And that documentary is gonna be amazing.
yeah,
when it comes out.
it's really, really dope.
Yeah, I want to get back into Christina Ken, but since we're talking about the Hendrix again, I'm a huge Hendrix guy. So what exactly is this?
It's about like people who think they know Jimmy, they don't know Jimmy.
Because there are so many documentaries
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there from people who say they know him and all these stories.
They're like my uncles as well, Tunde and Taharka Aleem. They were the ghetto fighters.
Okay.
Right.
They're funk-
If you look them up, their name in they went in a group called the Fabulous Aleems. They had the record Release Yourself and Confusion.
Okay.
And they had a couple of hit records in the 80s, and they created a label called Nia Records. They created a label called Nia Records.
What's up?
And so they went to they done a lot. They're like the Forrest Gump of the music business. But they met Jimi Hendrix in a way that, like, we got stories that nobody's heard.
Really?
We have music that nobody's heard.
Of Hendrix?
Hendrix playing on.
Really?
That was never been released. That the twins own. And like this is how they met. I'll give you this. How they met
That's a good
Jimmy.
story.
So Jimmy was a struggling musician.
Yeah.
The twins were two gangsters, enforcers for what at the time the biggest drug dealer in Harlem, called the Fat Man. Fat Jack was his name. He created the club Harlem World.
Okay.
Right? And so one day Tunde was asked to bring some stuff to the Fat Man because he was having a party. He didn't want to go in that party because there was some strange things happening in that party. So he left, and then the Fat Man's stepdaughter saw Tunde leaving, and she approached him and said, "Hey, come in my room." And so she was telling him about this her friend of hers who was a stripper named Pantora, and she was like, "Man, she got all this money, and she thinks she was from Colombia. She got all this money and such, and all you got to do is marry her, and it could all be yours."
Yeah.
So all you got to do is marry her, and it could all be yours, because she's been this dude in her house. But you got to get rid of this dude that's living in her house.
So Tunde had a.
So because he was supposed to marry her, but he's procrastinating. So they go, "Oh, okay, no problem." These are gangsters.
They gotta remove him.
Yeah, they're gonna remove him. They're not going there to remove him. They're going there to kill him.
Yep.
Right? Like, you're either gonna take the elevator or the window. Matter of fact, you're gonna take the window. Right? So
He was rough right out of the army too.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
out of Nam, right?
No, his brother. Well, Tunde was with the already in the cartel. Let's call it that. And then his twin brother Taharka was right out of Vietnam.
Okay.
So he was used to carrying out orders.
They ain't messing
so
around.
now they the biggest.
And they're big dudes.
They were big dudes, and then the enforcers for the Fat Man. So they go there, and they're going to get rid of this guy. So they go there, and they the beast. So they go in there, and as they getting closer to the door, they hear this music playing. Now, the twins are musicians themselves. They want to get out of the gangster business and get into the music business. Yeah. So they hear this music playing, and it starts to soothe them, like the music calms the savage beast. So they open the door, and there's this dude sitting there in a lotus position with a guitar playing the rap.
Was he the guy procrastinating?
It was Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix was supposed to marry that girl.
Yeah, but he wasn't Jimi Hendrix.
Right, he was just out of
Jimmy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he played with Little Richard. He played with a bunch
yeah,
of
but
people
he
before
wasn't. He
hit
was a
it.
struggling musician, right? And so Tahaka sits down, like he's smiling, like, "Hey, I've been waiting for you guys." So playing the music. Tahaka sits down. Tunde goes in the room with the girl, and they talking. So Tunde comes out, and when he comes out, Jimmy and Tahaka, they done fell in love with each other. And they singing "Kumbaya," and they doing all they singing it. So Tahaka joins them, and the later, Pantera comes out and pulls Tunde to say, like, "What's going on?" He was like, "Hey, man, look, man, he ain't going nowhere." They done fell in love with this cat.
Yeah.
So he stays. He's married her. Tunde still had the thing to the house, and he wasn't as nice as I said it to her, but he said, "Look, bitch." You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. He had to get on the street stuff with her. Look, man, and that actually turned her on.
He's staying, you're going.
Yeah. And so he came, and one day he was gone. The guy on the couch was gone.
Yeah.
Now that's the time when he went over to Europe and became.
That's where the
Jimi
experience
Hendrix.
started. Right. Yeah.
Right. So when he came back, the girl who
What's up, D-Rock?
the girl who introduced them,
Yeah.
her name was Faye, right? And she's like, "Man, Jimmy's looking for you. And so they come, it's like, all right, they met up, and then it's like, all right, cool, Jimmy's back. Now he's a new cat, but they don't know how big he is because he's walking through Harlem and nobody really,
Yeah.
But he said this is when they knew who he was, because they go down to Madison Avenue and the white girls are going crazy.
Right.
Well, wasn't that Jimmy's dilemma kind of within himself was that he was appealing to white audiences, and
that's where the twins come in.
He wanted
that's
to get
where the
back to
ghetto
the black
fighters.
community.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that's where the story, like, they formed the ghetto. Now the twins' job to get him to be accepted by the black audience, because this is what they did. They were in the street and they rolled, and so they got everything going. So that's where that part of the story comes in with him. But that's how the ghetto fighters were formed. Like, the ghetto fighters met Jimi Hendrix.
Wow, man.
What's up? We got that's an awesome story.
Yeah,
And,
that's
All right, let me go
fantastic.
sit here. I'm gonna go.
okay, we got D-Rock and Dara in the house. You
All
guys
right,
can-
let's see. So we got one seat there. I got microphones on the couch too. If anyone
you
wants to
can
sit on the couch.
Sit on the couch, or come over into the hot seat over here. I'm going to be jumping out shortly as well, to kind of see how we're looking out there with the shoot. But Dara is in the house. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, friend?
What's up, brother? How are you, man? Good to see you.
What's up, bro?
Hi, Darren.
Good to see you guys.
How are you?
It's great to see you guys outside of Zoom. So we've been doing
Yeah.
Zoom meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah, sit on that under the couch there.
Christina just came in too.
Oh, Christina's here. Oh, sweet. So we got Christina Holloway, and we got, now you're going to be one of the mentors.
Yes.
And
Hi, friend. What's your name?
Hi, my
Sorry.
name is Praise. I'm
Praise?
Hasib's son.
Ah, nice to meet you, Praise. Yes.
yeah, Praise will be. I'm sorry, I thought you guys knew Praise. Praise is. He was just telling us he's a celebrity. He's a radio. He's a radio
Icon. I did it
icon
for 2 months.
Yeah, for the 2 months.
I did it for 2 months.
The 2-month icon at 10.
Yeah. I got out of that anyway. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you guys are a part of this now. How did Hasib ran out of here as soon as you guys walked in? I don't know how you pissed him off, but he ran out of here. I'm kidding. So how did he find you guys for this?
Well, I known Hasib now from, we're praised about 15, 16 years now, something like that.
Oh, wow.
I used to manage Hasib.
Oh.
When he was a rapper.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And I met him when they brought his record for me to play on the radio. And I was on the radio out here on Long Island.
Oh,
what station?
Okay. WTHE. It does not exist anymore.
I was going to say, WTHE?
It was an AM station.
Oh, wow.
1520.
Nice.
And so anyway, I met him, through Daddy-O from Stetson Sonic, actually.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've known Daddy-O for 40 years. Oh, gosh. I'm dating myself.
Probably.
Jesus, almost total lie.
It might be
Yeah,
about
40. Yeah, about 42 years I've known Daddy-O.
Daddy-O, man, one of the greats. We were just talking a little bit about him before. I got to work with him on a few things.
Yeah,
I
good
love
dude. Good
Stetson
dude.
Sonic, legendary live
Yeah.
band, the whole.
This is before they beat the Fat Boys. I mean, the Fat Boys beat them for the record contract, but they got one anyway.
Oh.
So we were doing the block party thing together. But anyway,
Damn, you go way back.
yeah.
Jeez.
We was both rapping at the block parties and in the
Dude,
centers
so
back
you were,
in the day.
you were in the game, like, because we just had the 50-year anniversary.
Yeah,
So you-
I was 9 when hip hop started, so it's like it was
Damn.
one of those things, and so I met Zip, and we became like I was just friends, but now that's my brother. This is my nephew here.
Yeah.
So and I met Dara at Brooklyn House of Comedy, which doesn't exist. I think that's a problem with me. I go places that don't exist anymore. So
I'm seeing a trend here.
Well, let's hope governors.
No, this show isn't going anywhere. You know why?
Ooh, devil's a lion. His mama dressed him funny. No, you guys will be here. It's okay. COVID did them in. If you can survive that, the COVID did them in.
Exactly. This place survived COVID.
Yeah, you've been through COVID.
It was rough, but we did it.
Several crazy administrations and
Leslie, what's
and a
up?
flood.
Are we able to turn on the stage lights?
Yeah, let me see if I can find them. I'm coming. You guys,
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call multitasking.
Exactly. Tony's running the whole club today back here. He manages the club and the podcast studio.
Excellent.
But yeah, so we'll pick it up from what you.
Yeah, and I met Dara, who ran the Wednesday night mic, and that's where I met my friend, my sister. Love her dearly. One of the nicest people I met in the comedy game, for real.
I believe him to say that.
We matched crazy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
sometimes you just meet people like that and you just click and you lifelong friends, and that's what I love about the comedy world is the camaraderie, man. It's real, you know.
Yeah, it's either it's camaraderie. And I haven't had coffee yet, so like,
I hear you, man.
English is really my third language. It's like Ebonics, country, then English. But it's what I remember with Dara was we bonded over a bottle of Jameson one day, and I was like, okay, that's my friend.
Yeah.
That's my
go.
friend.
There you go.
I don't do that with everybody. So
Yeah.
Nice.
On the Canarsie Pier.
on the Canarsie Pier.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, I wanted to get the half a gallon. I knew she was my friend. She said, "No, you're driving. Just get the quart." So
She's looking out for you, man.
True. No, yeah, I think our crazy does match, and I think the comedy camaraderie is it's a lot different from just like normie friends. No offense, normie friends.
Right,
but, I think that because we're all chasing this dream together and we all have to like, not manage our emotions because we're not all good at that, but we have to be realistic about the things that are happening in our lives. So when you talk to someone in comedy and they're like, "How are you doing?" You can give them the rooted to the true to answer.
Right.
You don't
Yeah,
have to be
yeah.
like,
That's true.
"I'm fine." You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing well. I am feeling low, and they understand you, and they,
There is something to that kindred spirits, and that's what you see a lot in comedy. Everybody's thinking the same. It's there's a lot of layers to it, but it's all the quest for not only finding the funny, but also that there's an honesty to it, and there's a kinship when you find somebody that's also comedian. That's why comedians like to hang out with other comedians, because there is the real factor and there is the bullshit meter. People know, you know what I'm saying? So like, adore me, as you say. You'll see right through that person.
Yeah.
They'll tell you some, and then the comics though, they have that meter, man. That's always on full tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you need a vacation from your meter.
Right. Yeah.
That's when you go somewhere that don't know and knows that you tell a joke. So you know what I hate. I messed around on vacation once and told someone. So what do you do? I said, well, I work here, but also a glorified part-time comic. Oh yeah, tell me a joke. This person followed me around the cruise ship. Here, I wrote a joke. Yeah, you can use this one. I just wanted to throw them off the side.
Oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah,
It is the worst.
Yeah.
It is the absolute
So I said, "What do you
worst.
do?" I said, "I'm a dog catcher,
There you go.
and I love my job."
And
Because before I give it back, I torture them.
And if you were a dog catcher, would they ask you to do that right now? Could you go
Yeah,
catch a dog?
right?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. Oh, well, people actually do that.
Yeah, take a look at this.
Yeah.
You know.
People people ain't shit.
So now here we are. We're getting ready to shoot this Christina Ken. You guys are got both brought on, and this is awesome to have you on to be her mentors, her comedy mentors. Tell me, Dara, like being like, what are you looking to do? What do you think your job, your role is as the mentor, and what are you looking to teach her?
I want to teach her how to fully self-express herself, to find funny in the good, bad, ugly, and traumatic of whatever has happened to her, and be able to shift perspectives for people who think that they can't do things that they actually can do.
That's awesome. I think, yeah. And is that what you also try to do? And what's some of the secrets to achieving that?
I definitely try to do that. When I came out, quote unquote, to my family as a comedian, my grandfather.
Oh, you had to clean that one up real quick.
Because you know you have to do that. But you know you have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I worked a very corporate job, and I had to tell my family, so I'm going to throw that all away to work for drink tickets.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about that?
That's a hard sell. Yeah.
Exactly.
They might have almost wished you were coming out for something.
Exactly. We'd rather you be a lesbian.
Yeah.
Just,
At least you keep a job, right?
exactly. At least you would have money and a beautiful wife.
And your home will
They
be
were actually
immaculate.
disappointed. Oh, we thought you were going to tell us you were a lesbian.
Exactly. We'd be prouder of your legacy.
But how'd that go when you come out to your family and tell them you're going to leave the career behind to pursue comedy? Did they take it well?
I was very nervous. They actually, this was back in 2014, and they were actually really supportive. And they were like, you should, I remember my uncle was like, you should check out this South African comedian, Trevor Noah. And it's just, it's so funny to think about like the trajectory of his career since.
Where Trevor ended up,
Yeah, it's like, have you heard of him? It's like, everyone has heard of Trevor Noah now.
Right, yeah.
But after we had the dinner and, you know, they pulled up a bunch of clips, my grandfather looked at me and he said, you really going to do this? And I said, yeah, I'm going to do this. And he was like, all right, the great comedians, they do two things. They make people think and they make people laugh. And it is your job to make them laugh at what they're thinking about.
Right on. I love that.
Go out and kick ass. And then he died a week later. And I was like,
Wow.
damn, I really have to become a comedian now.
And you gotta make good now.
Yeah, I was like,
That's like the last piece of advice, right?
That's the last piece of advice.
Now you got to see it through. You got to make them think and laugh what they're thinking about.
Damn, I was planning to go to med school. Forget that now.
Exactly. Yeah. So I always try to do that, like deduct it down to the lowest common denominator of truth, you know, try not to punch down, try to make people actually think, but not like, you know, on a preachy thing. But
No, I think that's what comedians, you know, job is, like, in a way, is they're the truth tellers. It goes all the way back to the jester of, you know, the king has no clothes. It's bringing people down to reality. Also, look at Lenny Bruce, Pryor, Carlin, whoever. They're the ones that the truth tellers that showed the mirror to society. Go, look, this is what you guys look like. And then people start to evolve from that. Sometimes you need to be told what you're doing wrong through a comedic way, or what society's doing wrong in a comedic way. And I think, like, when we go through times like what we're going through these days, you need comedy more than ever. That's why when the cancel thing was going on, comics couldn't say anything. Almost, you know, or if they did, if somebody would record her or somebody on Twitter, outrage. I think good, bad, ugly, otherwise, you know, the comic's got to be a comic and has to be fearless, and they're at the front line. So, like, when you talk about telling the truth and make people think about the truth, and through a spoonful of sugar, laughing about it, that's how you do it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I always say when we get on stage, it's like discount family therapy.
Right.
You know, most of us don't have health plans, so it's like it's not like we could just go to the friendly neighborhood psychiatrist and get it off our chest. So we'll go out there and then, you know, we can sit there and listen to a couple of comics and say, damn, my life ain't so bad. Listen to them, you know. So and you get a chance to speak your truth. And I always say, if you can laugh about something, it's not hurting you anymore. So
truth, man.
Yeah.
There's so much to laughter, you know, being healing.
Yeah, well, the Bible says it's like medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that one, Pastor. I did remember
If nothing else.
Now, when you look at, like, we talk about, you know, I don't know if it's a truth or what, but look at, like, with Chappelle and his, you know, whether you love him or hate him, his take on the world. What do you guys think about that? You know, do you support what Chappelle is going on with on his kind of battle, you know, or his jokes with the trans community and racism and all this other stuff going on? Or what's your thoughts on what he's doing?
I mean, I think he's telling his perspective. I think that we could probably branch out on topics at this point.
Yeah.
We've kind of,
it's been like 3 specials in a row.
Yeah.
Oh,
we've
4, is it?
kind of like beat that horse in the head a lot. It's kind of like a 13-year-old boy just whacking it out, just like, all right, let's leave the room and have the hardened socks get a chance to dry. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I just feel like we could probably talk about other topics at this point, and it's kind of, we get it. But I think he's been doing it so long that he can pretty much do whatever he wants, and he's doing that.
Right. I feel like the last time he did it deliberately just to piss people off.
Yes.
Like
the last special.
That
Yeah,
whole
that
opens.
was,
the whole. First,
I thought that was brilliant. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, okay, you can't cancel me.
Right,
So
right.
Yeah.
I dare you. The thing is that a lot of time I think is that that mirror people are afraid to look into that you're speaking about. And when you call someone out on their bullshit, it's like, I don't want to see that.
Right.
I'd rather shut you up than to fix myself.
Yep.
And that's why there's been this move to silence the comics.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, the first thing you get rid of when you want to be a dictator is you get rid of lawyers and the comedians.
Yep. Because they'll call you out on it.
They'll call you out of your stuff.
They want to be behind the curtain,
right?
Like the Wizard of Oz, and then they're like, no, because the comic will tear that curtain down. And they're like, no.
Yeah, and then make everybody laugh at you in the process.
Right, exactly.
And so when you have someone telling the truth, that was one thing I think, as society, America's really butthurt about too much. Back in the day, we called it what it was.
Right.
Now they give it a syndrome. They give it a marketing name so you can market some drug for it.
Right.
But like,
That's true.
Think about this. When the soldiers came home from World War II, they called those that had mental issues, they called them what it was, shell-shocked.
Right, yeah.
You were shell-shocked. And people treated them with compassion. They said, you know what? You've been through trauma. You've seen death. You've caused death. No one should have to be in war. When they came home from Vietnam, now you have post-traumatic stress syndrome. So as soon as you say that, it's like, oh, you know what? You need a vacation, take a lap, do a few push-ups, you'll be okay, have a drink.
Right, yeah.
But they didn't treat them with compassion.
Right.
It was the comics in the 60s and the 70s that told the truth about Vietnam.
Yep.
It was the activists that told the truth. You think about, like you said, Lenny Bruce, Dick Gregory.
Yeah, Dick Gregory, man.
Dick Gregory was like, this is what it is, and take like it or not. And he was brilliant about it. Paul Mooney was another one. Brilliant. He's God rest him.
Yeah. God bless.
He told the truth for real, whether you liked it or not. And everywhere he went, he sold out because he was telling the truth. People want to hear truth. Even if you don't like it. The ones that don't want to hear the truth are the ones that's shoveling the bullshit.
I think that's the problem. Is I think a lot of people don't want to hear the truth now,
Right.
and they conflate not liking something with something being wrong.
I was speaking about the audiences, not the people that they're talking about.
No,
the people will follow them.
The audience.
Yeah, the audience. That's what I
I'm
was speaking
thinking.
of.
Yeah, the audience doesn't want to necessarily
really?
hear the. Yeah,
Okay.
they want things more sugar coated than it actually.
Oh,
is.
now, yes.
Yeah,
I was speaking about back then. I was speaking back then.
I'm saying I
Back
think the
then.
problem now is that.
Yeah, that's
people
what I said.
don't
Everybody's too butthurt now.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you say something about, look, if a trans person does something that's funny, forget the fact that they're a trans person.
Right,
This
right.
person did something funny.
Right, exactly.
Just so
yeah.
happened to have been
Right,
gay.
funny.
Just so happened to have been white. Just so
Right.
happened to have been Jew. Stop it. That's now everybody wants to cancel it. And the people that want to cancel usually people that don't have any talent anyway. So
Right. Well, if you look at the cancel stuff, that's been going back. We talk about Lenny Bruce and even with Dick Gregory. These are guys that, like Lenny, famously went to prison. Not prison, but he got arrested and numerous times out of the clubs. And I think with Dick Gregory, man, he was so he won over white audiences by telling the truth. He never pandered. That's what I love about Dick Gregory so much. He just sat there smoking, said it to you straight. You guys, this and this, and baseball is a great sport. He had that whole baseball bit. He's like, a black man gets to hit use a bat on a white ball or something.
That's why we like it.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't want to let us in the Major League
Right,
Baseball.
yeah, and everybody's
we
dying
can hit something white.
Right, yeah, with a bat, yeah. So Dick Gregory was a genius, brilliant, and I don't think a lot of times he gets enough credit as a comic. of what he did. I mean, he paved the way for Cosby and everything else.
Right.
But Cosby was a more ready for prime time comedian. But if it wasn't for Dick Gregory breaking that ground, you wouldn't have Cosby come in and.
And Pryor started out that way. Pryor they was trying to make him the next, Bill Cosby. But
I think if Cosby never, I think he had backstage. He kind of, yelled at him or whatever, saying, "Hey man, stop doing my act."
Right.
And then, but I think had that moment never happened, we might not have that Pryor. Yeah. Because Pryor
the real
was
genius wouldn't have came out.
Right. And I think it was mixed that with the 60s, with Vietnam, with all that, everything that was happening, like in that time period, civil rights, all that kind of stuff was going on during then. That's where we got Pryor, man. That's where we needed Pryor. And same with Carlin and all these other people like that popping at that time period.
So interesting. Pryor was doing Cosby's act. I didn't know he was drugging women. Weird.
It was just a different drug. He gave him cocaine. It was they were wide awake, boy.
He was freebasing.
Freebasing and lighting fires.
It was a whole different kind of pudding.
It was different. It was something different. Cosby made sure you were out cold. He said, "Here, snort this kilo. And see what we can get into after this." In fact, he had a bit about that. He's like, sitting there, you ever do like cocaine with your woman? And he's talking, snort this. Now jump up on the ladder, and I'm gonna run around the house 3 times. And when I come out 3rd time, jump down on my face. That was
Don says the same thing to me.
I remember listening to that when I was 10, so you can see what kind of childhood I had.
Hey, those are the good old days, man. Listen in secret, listen to the records,
Yeah.
No, okay.
Or my dad would come on, "Who scratched my Richard Pryor album?"
Yeah.
Whoa, me.
I would do that with Eddie Murphy, the Eddie Murphy movies. Put the VHS in before Grandma got home so I can watch
Oh man!
Norton, when I bend over, couldn't watch that at home.
Oh, by the time that came out, I was in college. We sat there and watched that live on HBO when that came out.
So apparently we're a lot younger than you. Apparently.
Yeah, wait.
I'm the elder statesman here, man. It was like I was OLDE.
Well, you already said you were there at the beginnings of the hip hop.
Yeah, I'll be 60 next month. So
God bless, dude. You look.
Yeah, you look younger than
you look
me and him.
Listen, I'm almost 60 and I'm cute as a box of puppies, like Hasib says. Hasib gave me that one. I got to give him
That's great. Box of puppies.
Box of puppies.
A basket of bunny rabbits.
Adorable.
You just can't get any cuter than it. Look, I gave up being fine in the 80s, man. You had to go to the gym and eat right. I was like, I could be cute until I'm 106.
Yeah, there you go, man. You look great, dude.
And it's funny you say that because I had to go out there to turn the lights on, which I couldn't find the lights. But what I did find was the platter of cookies you brought. So, of course, I opened it and took a cookie.
You're lucky you saw them before I did because you're hungry.
No, I was like, cookies? I want a cookie.
I said, we got to get in for this podcast. I was about to stop and have steak, eggs, and...
No, this is awesome that you both are here on the podcast. This is Tony Walker's podcast, Knockem Dead Comedy.
Yeah.
And we're happy to have you here, man.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I did not know this club was... I know it was out here, but I didn't know exactly where it was.
You guys have never been here?
No.
Really?
I frequent the buffet across the parking lot. Oh my God! Even when they was hometown buffet, that was like my favorite spot. I put all their kids through college. All that. It's like I eat there. I would just tell Dar, I said, "This is a place not too far from where we're going, and the sushi is excellent." And I'm sitting there like, "I'm gonna go get some sushi when we finish here." That was on my mind. And they said, "Turn here." I was like, "Huh? This is the same part. This is the place I'm talking about." I said, "Right across."
Wow.
Yeah, I've been coming out here for 20 years to eat.
And you're from Long Island, right?
No, I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay, but you have family out
I
here.
worked in Mineola like off and on for 25 years.
Oh, okay,
at the
cool.
radio station there.
Nice.
And that was then I got paroled.
Radio's tough these days, man.
Yeah, it's almost non-existent because of what we're doing now.
Right.
It's like you can actually find something you really want to hear and not have to put up with
Right.
a lot of stuff, and it's actually cheaper on the financial end and have to deal with the FCC and all that stuff. So.
Well, that's what I hate about this, is that everybody and their mother does it in their basements. They buy a couple of cameras, and it's cheap and it's awful, but it takes away from
legitimate stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Well, you come here and rent the studio out?
Absolutely, that's exactly where I'm going.
Yep.
So now, Dara, how did... Right, so we know that he used to manage Hasib. Now, what's your connection?
Darren is my connection.
Oh, okay, so you guys know each other already.
Yeah, we've known each other since 2016.
Okay, through the comedy world? Or?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
and Jameson.
I used to host a mic. Shout out to Joanna Briley. It's called Wednesday Comedy Workout.
Okay.
And there are so many comedians have come through there where it's like Ashton Womack, who writes for Trevor Noah, used to actually come to WCW, and it's just so cool to see like how people have grown since.
Yeah, sure.
But, yeah, we've known each other since 2016.
And same with this place. I mean, the history, like Eddie Murphy started here.
Wow.
This is where he started.
This is where he used to like say he was older than he was and then come in here.
Right. And
this
he would,
club here. I didn't know. I really didn't know. I knew it was in Levittown, but I didn't know it was like.
Yeah.
We're sitting in history.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of it.
Like those signs out there, the original. I don't know if that's the original, but I think the other ones.
Like Gilbert Godfrey.
I'm looking at a picture of Gilbert Godfrey right now.
Yeah. I just remember, like, I would see the posters in the Village Voice. Gilbert Godfrey,
right?
Yes.
Kevin James still shows up here once in a while.
He's my hero.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He made Fat so cool. Him and Biggie. It's like now I don't have to spend so much money on clothes because of Kevin James. It's like, Biggie, I had to buy Versace and Gucci sweaters, and
Biggie made it real cool though.
He made it cool to be big and dark.
Yeah,
you know. I would like punch myself in the eye so it kind of look lazy. And go, how you doing? I rap too. I rap gifts. I work in race.
Oh my god,
that's fantastic.
We got to make another movie. We'll have you play Biggie in it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's too many. I'm too short. Biggie was a big dude. Biggie was 6'4".
Oh, was he?
Was he 6'4"?
Yeah, he was up there. He was a real big dude.
Damn.
I didn't know that.
And my energy is different.
Yeah.
Besides, the guy that always plays Biggie in the movies, he looks so much like him. I couldn't pull that off.
We know a comic named Nigel Fullerton. You know Nigel?
No.
He played Biggie in what movie was that?
No, they get him to play.
It was a reenactment. Well, he played Biggie in the reenactment.
Right, but then they get him. He's played in like 2 or 3 movies. He's played Biz Markie.
He played Biz Markie in the Roxanne movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know
that was on Netflix.
Now.
Nigel played Bismarck in that one. Then he played Biggie. It wasn't a movie about Biggie. I think it was like one of those shows where, and then what happened to Tupac next was, and they show like a really bad reenactment. You know, he was in one of those. You know, and then they got Biggie Smalls.
Right.
Those type of things.
and they show him half, and they show him half blurry.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah, it's like it is what it is. You know, but Kevin James is like I just remember my favorite part he did was in Hitch.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I forgot about that.
Will Smith smacked him twice.
Yeah,
that was good.
Listen, that he was warming up for
he was getting ready,
warming up for Chris Rock. But when he was like, he's probably one of the best physical comics we have right now.
Oh, for
just
sure.
To watch him with that hot dog and the mustard, I must have watched that one scene over and over and over. It was just.
He's old school with that. He brings it back, that physical comedy, for sure. Yeah,
and he kills himself on Kings and Queens. It's like I say, they must have a stunt double because I don't think they're paying that man that much. He'll run into anything and
it's true,
and be right on the ground. What I'm impressed at, as big as he is, he gets up. If I hit the ground, just listen.
You live there now?
I live here. I live here now. I'm taking a nap.
I'm staying here.
Look, I'm here.
Wake me up in 8 hours.
Have you seen Kevin James lately?
No, I haven't.
He looks like a different guy. I think he lost a little weight and he's completely bald and he's got a beard. He looks like a different dude. He looks like
I haven't seen him.
He's kind of jacked now. So he's touring around now. He's going to be playing the Paramount, I think, in a couple of weeks or months. Or something.
It's coming up.
Bald?
Yeah, he shaved his head.
Let me see if I can find a picture of him real quick. Yeah. So
the thing about it is,
whenever I see a fat guy lose weight, I feel like I get mad because I'm like, son of a bitch.
You know, I had lost 110 pounds and gained back 65 of them. because I missed it. You know,
Right.
See, you're home. I missed it. Look. A lot of this. Oh, you got a big guy. Yeah, you know what happens? See, everybody with that's got that 6-pack, and they're able to do that stuff. You don't understand when you have this gut. You can keep your hands warm. You just put them. Listen,
You can store stuff there.
You can store stuff. You know, you always got a snack. You just lift up a man boob and pull out.
Lift your moob up.
Your move.
That's a good one.
That's fantastic.
Hey, man. And it
I got
stays
a
warm.
Snickers.
You can't put chocolate because it melts.
It melts, yeah.
But you can stick a couple hot dogs in it.
He looks like a combination of so many. Is that hair in the back?
No, I think it's just bald.
Just a shadow?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it?
I would have. This man walked in right now. I would not know who that is.
Yeah,
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I told you he's like a completely different looking guy. It's weird,
That is
and it
weird.
actually makes me mad
Let
because
me see
I like-
what photo you got. Oh, yeah.
So I'll show the audience this one. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's kind of like did a rebrand or something or like a makeover.
It looks a little Sherman Helmsley, but it's.
He is moving up. I think he is moving on. Up.
I think it's a shadow. I think it's a shadow. I hope it's a shadow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like it looks like he's got the ring.
Yeah.
The hair there, yeah.
Of all the comparisons.
So look at him here, man. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's
Yeah.
wild. I would have never.
Yeah.
He looks like a big Eminem.
Big Eminem.
Yeah,
Like
he looks
Eminem
real-
the
Eminem's
rapper, or
yeah.
the kid.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
he
okay,
does.
yeah,
He
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like Eminem
He
now.
does. He does. He does.
Wow.
The new Eminem.
Well, see, but that's what I like when he's performing, because whenever he's performing somewhere, he'll in the area, he'll come here for
that's cool.
a few nights and try new stuff out. So
Okay.
That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's very him and Louis C.K. He comes around a lot too, doing
that's
that,
the man right there.
testing out new material. So I like when they come around. That's cool. And Dice too, actually. Dice, remember Dice?
Yeah. We,
Andrew Clay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Good old, yeah, he came through here. He's very private. He doesn't like us. You know, like when he goes in the green room, he keeps the door shut. And one of the other comics, who's been around for a long time but never moved up the ladder, he came to say hi to him because you remember him from back in the day.
That's a very diplomatic way of saying he sucks as a comic.
You learn to be when you're in the comic.
My God, that was brilliant.
But he knocks on the door, and you hear him, "Who is it?" And then he opens the door. He goes, "Hey, remember me? We used to work together back in the day when you were coming up. Get the fuck out!" He yelled, right?
I was sitting right here. And I had the door
Yeah.
open, and the green room is right across the hall, and I can hear him just like when he's doing his stand-up. Like he sounded just like himself. Get the fuck out of here! He must have yelled it at least twice, and I just sat here like I froze.
Wow.
So for me, I'm like, I guess we're not going to ask Andrew to come on the show because a lot of times we'll have the live from the green room show, and we'll grab comics from the green room, and they'll just hang out with us for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, I guess we're not going to ask Andrew Dice Clay to come in.
Yeah, no.
But I was just happy that I wasn't the one in trouble. So
Yeah.
it was a good night. It was a good night.
And we don't let really that comic who got yelled at. We kind of,
Yeah, we ousted him.
He's a weird guy. He's weird. You got to be weird to do that anyway.
Yeah.
I always say for us to just be comics, there has to be a disconnect somewhere.
Right. You have to something.
We're all a little off.
The balance in the brain isn't.
There are so many weird people that walk around this place. Really, there's just so many weird people.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a good kind of off. I
agree,
because it's not like we're not trying to hurt anybody.
Right.
Just wanna make 'em laugh.
Well, I
Majority
think
of
it's
us,
because
yeah.
we own the off. You
That's
know?
really
Right.
the
That's a
best.
great way to put it.
Yeah,
Other
that's
people
love
are
that.
trying to act like they got it all together, and we're like, nope, we're a little crazy. We got it.
That's
You
a
know?
great way to put it. You own it. You
We
own
own
it.
And
the
the
off.
best
Yeah.
is behind the stage, where everybody's talking to each other, whether it's talking shop or just picking on each other.
Yes.
To
Oh,
me,
yeah, that's the best.
It is. It's the best.
I met one of my best friends at Brooklyn House of Comedy where we had the mic. Greg Deacon, shout out to you. And the thing is, he came the first time I met him. He was there with a plaid shirt on, And I said, so you got your tablecloth shirt on, trying to tell jokes, you know. And he said, yeah, but you like a bargain-based biggie, you know.
There you go. That's making on.
And I said, I like you. We buy you a drink, and we've been friends ever since.
There you go, man.
That's funny because I met him at a show, and that's how he got to WCW. And he was like, I really want to be a comic. And I was like, okay, great. He was like, you and your Converse clown shoes. And I was like, you're going to have to do better than that.
Oh, wow.
You're going to have to come stronger. That's not going to get you on stage.
He is a nice guy, and he can be funny
great.
when he want to be.
Oh,
What he wants to be.
that was shady.
That's a nice diplomatic way to say it.
Listen, if I didn't do that, then that wouldn't be my friend.
Truth tellers. We are the truth tellers.
See,
Exactly.
listen, if I don't talk about you, I don't like you. So,
Yeah, that's true.
because they know it's not coming from a bad place. I'll listen to your jokes, help you punch them up, and then maybe you can be somebody one day.
Well, there's a comedian that hangs around here, and he does this show with me on Tuesdays. Sean Elliott is his name.
Good kid, funny kid.
And but he's in a wheelchair, and he's black and in a wheelchair. So the first night I met him, I invited him to come in, and I immediately said, "Oh, you got 2 strikes against you already." I said, "If you're gay, that's 3 strikes, and you're done." And he shot something back at me about being white, and we just same thing. We hit it off immediately, and now, like I said, he comes in every Tuesday with me, and I just love hanging out with the guy.
It's kind of hard not to own that, like in a wheelchair. So I guess he's.
Is the stage accessible?
The main stage is.
Well, he needed Petroni to pick him up, right?
Yeah, well, because there's 2 or 3 steps. We had a bunch of comedians had to lift him to get on stage. The Giggle Room, they have 2 stages here. The main club, which holds like 350 or 400 people, and then the Giggle Room where we're filming today, it holds 80, and because it's 80, it's a typical club, so everybody's squished in and tight. We don't even bother.
A lot
trying
of
to get 'em
comics
on that
prefer
stage.
the smaller room over the bigger room because the ambiance is just so everyone's.
It's more
packed in.
intimate.
Yeah, it's more intimate.
Yeah,
and-
classic
and-
comedy club feel. Yeah,
Yeah, it feels like
it feels good in there.
Now, because you guys are here today and doing the show, of course, like the good host that I am, I did my research. I read your bios, the bios you sent us. You've been entertaining audiences on stages since you were 3?
Yes.
What, diaper commercials? What are we talking about?
Dancer.
A dancer at 3 years old?
Yeah.
Are you still dancing?
I don't do it as often. Like I don't do it. I do it like in my living room. But I stopped like performing. I would say a few years past college. I do go back to my high school, Teaneck High School. We have a group, Terpsichoreans, and every 5 years the alumni do go back and we do perform on stage.
Oh.
So the last time I did that, I guess, was 2 years ago.
Let's go.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, really? Wow, look at that.
And that was my bad leg.
Well,
If I do that, you need to call 911.
I
there
could
was
do
a
that, but I
snap
gotta.
that I'm concerned about, but I heard something move. I started ballet when I was 3, and then didn't stop until after college. So,
Nice.
yeah, and then I was a failed child actress.
That means she didn't do drugs until after she.
I got an Aetna commercial, and I got a PBS commercial, and I remember, and I must have been like 7 or 8, and it was a voiceover of me talking over these little white girl hands, and and I remember.
So they wanted to be like you with a white girl.
Essentially.
Give us your white girl voice.
I think this is it. Because I was just being myself. And I remember asking the engineer, I was like, well, where are my hands? Because we were like looking at it. And he was like, those are your hands. Like, he did whatever he needed to do to get me to do
He
the
was
job.
trying to fool you. No, those are your hands.
Those are your hands. And I was like, those don't look like my hands. And it took me years to realize I out-white girled voiced all of the rest of the white girls in New Jersey.
That is awesome.
How the hell?
New Jersey.
There you go.
In New Jersey. Okay. That's a feat of strength.
New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. I just out-white girled all the white girls.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Yeah, so I did a bunch of voiceovers.
That's a bit right there, by the way. That is a bit.
We gotta work that in somehow.
You know, the thing is, when I got to when the first time I met her and I walked in and she was already on stage, I said, "Wow, she does that good." And come to find out, that's really how she speaks. and look, this place made like.
You thought she was like a person like doing a white
really
girl
thought-
bit or something?
yeah, that's what I really thought because I mean, you looking at her, that comes out her mouth. Yeah. That's like a Chinese, like you see a Chinese guy and they're gonna talk to you like so. I'm on no coming on my shut my place.
It is similar.
And I'm saying, I'm like, and the bartender at this comedy club made the strongest Long Island iced tea. It was like 100% octane. I mean, it was just, and I had 2 of them before I came in there. I said, okay, I've never been here before, but I'm gonna get lit and then go on stage. If I never get a chance to come back here, I made an impression. And I said, damn, I drank too much. You know, I'm serious.
He's crying.
I think he had drank before he got here. I think. Where exactly did you guys stop on the way here?
My living room. Look, I was looking at that bottle of Uncle Nearest who was staring me in the face. I'm like, you want me. But that being here, anyway, a whole nother story.
I'm like, you drove me here.
Yeah, I said that I gotta drive 30 miles. I think I need to be sober.
Thank God.
Drunk driving only works at night because
Otherwise, it's just road rage.
it's road rage. Yeah, it's just, otherwise, that's what it is. There's not too many people on the road. You can.
How do you guys feel about all of us doing nude scenes for this thing today?
Oh, I've been working out for months.
Oh, nice. All right,
so, yeah, I'm more excited to see y'all.
Well, you're the first girl to ever say that about me.
Exactly. And listen, y'all don't need to see all of this. There's not that much liquor in this building.
Hilarious.
All right, so actually,
I'm down. I'll try anything else.
So their job today is what to help
the
Christina
mentors.
put together her act. Is that
Yeah, they're her mentors, and we also got Fudge, the comedian, who I don't know if he's here or not yet.
I have not seen him.
But it's
Christina's here. She's on. That's why I had to go get
Yeah.
the lights for the stage because she's on stage getting her makeup done.
Ah, very cool.
She has 2 girls doing her makeup.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, she's hot
the
shit.
star.
Well, her head isn't that big, though.
Now, you guys don't know her though, right?
Oh yeah. We
Oh,
met.
you do?
I met her in
met her.
person. but
Oh, okay.
You met her on.
I met her
The
on Zoom,
Zoom,
but
but-
I just gave her a hug and kiss when I saw her.
Right, but no past, no history with her.
No.
Right.
No, you know what? Yeah, I could say yes. It was a real. I played her records when she was a recording artist.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Records, like she has more. I only
she
know
has a couple albums.
Oh, she has a couple albums.
songs. She
okay.
was she up for any awards?
You'd have to ask her. I don't remember.
But I know she's like,
I don't remember awards unless I'm trying to get them. So it's like,
Yeah, she's got some good stuff. Like I was listening to like R&B, like gospel type of like vibes, or and
that's why I played her because it was because the station I was at was actually a gospel station.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't know about my current actions and my shit, my set, but
Well, they know now.
yeah, they know it now. All those who expecting to hear Brother Darren Gregg's psych. What it is, I lean more toward R&B.
Yeah,
sounding. Of course, she had to play other stuff, but most of the stuff I personally gravitated to was the stuff that she did primarily.
Okay.
And did that just to piss off the mother's board at the church. I ain't playing.
She's been on stage a ton of times, but I know she's like terrified to do stand up. And do you guys see that a lot with other performers? Like, I'm comfortable doing this, like I'm dancing or singing or whatever, but now doing comedy is this whole different animal of entertainment, and they get nervous.
Anytime you reinvent yourself, man, it's you don't know whether it's going to work.
But I think in a general sense, people have a huge fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
Like people, I think it's this. What is it? People are more afraid of public speaking than they are getting murdered.
Right.
So I think that's a general fear that people have. And you're right. When you're doing something that's kind of not in the box that you're used to, then there's a little rattle and roll. But I think generally people are really scared of public speaking. It scares the crap out of them.
And then being funny or being expected to be funny. When you go on that stage, people are waiting for you to be funny.
Yeah, and the amount of people who think that they're funny and actually are funny, there's a huge disparity.
You're right about that. You are so right about that.
Man. Yeah, man.
Everyone tells me, as soon as someone's like, everyone tells me I should do comedy, I'm like, you should not. You should not. If that's what you're running around telling people, please do not touch the mic.
Look, I always tell go right ahead. That's like when I was doing
to learn
radio.
this way they know. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I always tell people to get on stage, but I know that they're not. I know that they're
Yeah.
just wasting my time with conversation, telling me how funny they think they am. I got a bit for you. No, you don't. Okay.
And how easy it is. That's the thing.
That's what gets me.
That's what burns
People
my
really think
biscuits,
you're just
man.
going up there and winging it. Really, they don't think about the time that's put into it.
And they
They
don't
really
understand the timing of it too.
Well, yeah, the whole
like,
the whole.
They
art
don't
of it,
understand
right.
anything about it. Just
Right,
like when I
right.
was doing radio, they say, you don't do nothing but sit there and play records and talk. Anybody can do that. And I would just get up and say, do you? I'm going to go take a break.
Yeah, right.
You do my show. And they look at the board and it's like, what do I do next? Get the F out of my chair.
Right. Exactly.
Let me do my job.
That's, like with the arts, it's so frustrating when anybody thinks they could do it because, like I always tell people when it comes to art, like, hey, everybody can sing, everybody can dance, but they really can't sing, and they really, you know what I'm saying? Like I could tell you, I could dance, I could actually get up right now and dance for you.
Whether
guys.
you're any good is another
But
story.
yeah, exactly.
In fact, he's going to show us
We're
right
gonna
now.
have a dance off.
There you go.
So that's
Hit him with the Bernie.
Oh God.
That's what I'm talking about. Like so, like people don't understand. Yeah, you can do it, but you can't do it. Like I can draw a tree, but I can't.
Oh gosh. You really did that.
It was a jig. You got that's a jig.
I really get into such a mess.
Now you know the real trick is to do that when you're not sitting down, and your feet are moving too. You know, not just standing in one spot. Anybody can do that.
I'm at my best. I'm driving in the car, just
Yeah.
doing that. That's what. But yeah, I mean, that's the point. Is like, yeah, anybody can tell a joke, but can you really tell a joke? Can you really open up and be a truth teller, or tell jokes, or construct a joke, or write about your life in a funny way that people are going to want to hear it. Like, there's so much that goes into comedy that people don't really get or understand. They just think, oh, yeah, just go up there and just be Louis C.K. tomorrow. It's just easy,
100%.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine, and I always, when I first met her, I always got that inkling, like, she kind of wanted to do comedy. And then one day she hit me about, like, a bringer show that another comedy club has. And she was like, what do you know about this? And I was like, what do you know about getting on stage? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're trying to do this bringer show? You've never done anything. How about you write a type 5? Like, how about you do a mic? And then she signed up for a comedy class and literally apologized to me.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
She was sitting in my kitchen table the night that she was supposed to be at her comedy class because she quote unquote hated it because of how hard it was for her.
Right.
And I'm like,
absolutely
and she's
right.
like, I'm sorry if you ever thought that I was undermining. I was like, I did think you were undermining me.
Wow, that's that. Kudos to your friend for understanding that and actually.
And is she still is she doing it or no?
You gotta be a lunatic. She's not crazy enough.
I was explaining somebody about the timing once because they was on that. Well, anybody could do that, and it's like, well, you do realize that inside of 60 seconds, you need to get at least 5 to 7 laughs in 60 seconds. And he said, what do you mean? It's like, well, you can't tell the story too long. You have to get to your point.
Right.
And even if it's a long story, if you're a storytelling comic, like I'm a storytelling comic, you still got to hit them with punchlines every so often to keep them interested and keep it going.
Right.
And then if you're doing like Dara would do 30 minutes, I could do 30 minutes, or you're doing an hour, you're doing that, and you got to be 5 minutes ahead of yourself at the whole time to just stand there and look like you're just having a conversation.
Right,
and
yeah.
I was explaining to him just like that, and he was like,
Yeah.
I was still on 5 to 7 minutes. That's like, then you say you got to be ahead of yourself. Oh, really?
You have to be thinking ahead of yourself, and you have to be thinking, regardless of if the server just dropped a whole tray,
Right.
this table is
Right.
talking,
Yes.
someone is heckling you, you're doing more time because they're telling you to stretch because the next comic's not here. Like, there's so much that happens on the stage that people don't think about.
The worst is the light. Like, I am so bad at, like, all right, now, like judging, like, what can I say in the allotted amount of time I have left?
Yep.
Like, I am the worst. Like, yeah, that's horrible for me. I panic in my head.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, then there's a million other things going on.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, his name is Mike Keegan. He's a regular here at Governor's.
Mike Keegan.
Oh, you know Mike?
Yeah,
He's
great
great.
guy, great.
It's so funny.
comic.
He posted a video not too long ago. He was in the giggle room, and one of the waitresses went up in the middle of his set. She walked up on the stairs of the stage. They asked him a question. And and you see him, he's like, hold on, everybody. And he leans in. He's like, oh, hi.
That's when he was
And-
doing his taping too, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was doing a live taping
No.
too. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. You can see it. And then he just, he's like, okay, we'll get back to what I was saying. Like, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah,
It was his special. What's
Yeah.
it called? Captain some captains. Yeah, Mike Keegan. Check him out. But yeah, that happened in the middle of his special.
That's wild. I had a show recently where two women started fighting in my front row. Where they,
see,
like,
that would turn me on.
there was
Throw
no
a little-
Jello.
Yeah, I was about to say put a little Jello, some whipped cream in there,
Jello involved.
soap suds. We
It
can
was
do it all.
6 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, and it was like two aunties, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, it was like two old black women. I'm like, "What are we doing?
Yeah.
You're in your Sunday's best. Calm down. Sit
those
down."
of you-
Were they actually like swinging?
They got up to, and then one of my friends, shout out to Vanessa Peruta, got in the middle of them, and then I was able to like keep the attention on me. But when I thought she was going to the bathroom, when she got up, turned around, she was like, "What you looking at?" I was like, "Oh." I was like, I can't believe this is happening during my set. I just want to tell jokes. I just want to tell jokes.
No, see, no, you got to be happy about it because it's shit like that. That's when you go viral from stupid
I
shit
know.
like that.
I posted it. It did
I
not
saw
go as
that.
viral
That's
as
what
it
was
should've.
going on. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
That'd be the
That's
first thing
when
to
we're
my head at this point. Viral, I'd be making sure my face is in there.
No, but just a public service announcement. For those of you who don't know, the white people in the audience, aunties are black women of a certain age.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I said it was two old black
because
women. Yeah.
you were totally confused. Aunties, they were relatives. You know?
In my head, I'm like, does she mean old ladies? What is she talking about?
Ladies.
Yeah.
They're not quite old, but they're they're like
They're too old to be fighting in
They're
a
too
club.
old
You
to be
got
fighting.
arthritic knees, okay? You like some things aren't working out well enough for you to be throwing it down in your Sunday's best. It was wild.
That's great. All right, well, with that, it's actually time for us to head on out of here. So, yeah, it's actually after 12:30. Can we do this again, though, at some point? This was a lot of fun. This was great.
I haven't done something like this since I stopped doing radio in 18. This is kind of
Oh,
cool.
okay. All right, well,
Look at you.
we were thrilled, you guys. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. We're looking forward to spending the rest of the day with you. And now I'm thrilled. I had no idea you guys were never here before. So now I feel like we're part of history. You guys are making your governor's debut on February 4th.
I was Governor's Comedy Club adjacent at the buffet across the park.
You were here by osmosis.
So February 4th, make sure you come on down for the special taping of Christina Ken.
That's right.
Oh, there's Fudge.
Fudge.
There's Fudge.
Come on in,
Come on in,
Fudge.
quick.
There's Fudge,
We're
the comedian. We're wrapping up the
Yeah, we're just
show.
about to sign off, but come say hi.
Yeah, you're
real
just in
quick.
time to say goodbye. Here you go.
We got Fudge, a comedian, in the house. He's going to be
Let me
one of the
see if I
mentors
can-
as well. These are the 3 mentors that are all have joined us now. What's up, Fudge?
How y'all doing?
How you doing, brother?
You come here sound like Frankie Crocker.
Oh man, I'm feeling good, man. Yeah, just had toddler duties.
There you go.
But yo, we're good.
What kind of duty?
Toddler.
Oh, toddler.
He's got a 3-year-old.
I was like,
That means he's taking care of his
There's
child.
a lot of duty in toddler duties.
I know, it was
huh?
like
Toddler duty.
A lot of duty.
Let's take that diaper on the way out the
Like,
door.
did he take
right?
a massive shit? Like I didn't hear toddler.
Yes,
I
he
didn't know
did.
what he said.
He did that
He
too.
just had duties.
Double entendre.
Toddler duty.
I got to tell you, man. I watched the Family Feud Bible. I laughed my ass off. Hilarious. Hilarious.
Look nothing like Kurt Franklin, but it worked somehow.
It was hilarious, and I got to tell you too, if like anybody around this club, they hear your name, there are certain comics where like all the comedians just love the comic. I have never heard a single bad word about you, man. Everybody around here loves you, man.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited that you're here.
Fudge, the comedian.
That's right.
Yay.
All right, with that, we're getting out of here. But before we do, and we'll start with Fudge. Do you guys have anything coming up that you want to promote?
Yes, I'm gonna be here February 4th with everybody else. So.
February 4th. Big show February 4th.
Yeah.
It's also a live taping, so everybody come on out. You're going to see all the comics at their best. We're going to have cameras. You might be a part of the episode. We're interviewing people afterwards. It's going to be a blast, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and February 4th, I'm going to be at Governor's Comedy Club, and I'm going to change my shirt and my drawers for that day because it's real special.
Do you normally not change those things?
Oh, listen, drawers, you can get them 4 days, man. Listen, you wear them 2 days, and you turn them inside out, you flap them out a little bit, and you got another 2 days.
Yeah, you can make them last. That's what I like to do.
All right.
I too will be here on the 4th with fresh drawers on. Okay.
I'm wearing fresh ones too.
I'm even gonna be showered. It's gonna be wild.
I don't take my shower until Saturday night, so I usually be saying Sunday. Yeah, so I'll even have a shower.
So you fresh for Jesus? That's what.
There you go.
Fresh for Jesus.
I take a shower every Saturday night, whether I need one or not.
That's great.
My guess is that you might need it by then.
Yeah, usually that's what it is.
Everybody, look for these people. Where are your Instagrams and all that stuff?
I'm chocolate.
No kidding.
We gotta figure that
Hi, I'm Vanilla. Hi.
We have make him Napoleon right here.
She just asked us for a threesome? What just happened?
I don't know. If that's the case.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're going to do on
Shade
the
of
5th.
red you have just turned. And you know what you're doing?
But I didn't say no, though, just so you know. I'm embarrassed, but I'm not saying no.
No, I'm chocolate JEM on Instagram. JEM, not GEM. It's because my last name is Jamato.
Chocolate gem, everybody. Chocolate gem.
Yes.
I'm Darren_Greggs on Instagram.
Very cool.
And, the Fudge Shuffle on all social media platforms.
The fudge what?
Shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like
Can you give
fudge
us a
and
little-
chocolate.
He has the
What? We're
If you
chocolate.
have diabetes, don't come to the show because it's too much. You might need some insulin.
The sugars.
Insulin.
We gotta get you to do a little fudge shuffle because you gotta there's a fudge shuffle dance.
Yeah.
That looks like the same dance she was doing. Oh, he was doing your dance. Yeah, okay.
But the fudge shuffle's old. He does like
It's all show.
You're so white. Look at you.
Listen,
I know I can't
he
do
was
nearly
he
as
was
cool
doing
as
he was
Fudge.
doing the fudge shuffle.
It rubs. Look, it's the happy dance. It's my happy dance. So no matter what's going on,
Yeah.
I'm just shuffling. You see them shoulders
And it makes you
moving.
feel good.
That's how I dance when I eat.
When I know
And
my
when
wife's
it's,
making
especially
chicken
when
nuggets,
it's good,
I'm like,
it's like, oh,
About to take you to the dance shuffle now.
Wow.
good times, everybody.
All right, we got to get out of here.
look at all that college tuition is just well spent.
Yes.
My parents are like, and this is what the hell he's
This
doing.
is what you do.
His father's crying right now.
Yeah, he's like-
Think about this. It's like my dad came to me with the bill. He said, I did something. It was after college. I did something he didn't like. And he said, $23,314.12. And this is how you like it?
All that money just for this.
This is my dad.
Yeah, but I do it well, Dad. I do it well.
That's why I went to community college.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we really got to get out of here. Don't forget, go to govs.com. Lots of great shows. Again, February 4th, you see it on the screen there. Where you can see all of us on that show. But then this week, in fact, Laura Patton, who's doing that show, as you can see her at the brokerage this coming Friday. She got Teddy Smith with her and Rick Chrome and some other great comedians. This Thursday, Rich Voss, Olga Namer, Michelle Fox, and John Ziegler. They're doing a special show for Israel right here at Governors. Kathy Arnold, John Santo, Janelle Hamster, Eric McMahon, Tom Kelly, Clayton Fletcher, an open mic, Fat Jay, Bridget Kavanaugh, Doug Lubby. Just some of the names you'll see on a Governor's stage this week.
Clayton Fletcher rocks, man.
Yeah,
You guys know
that's your
Clayton
buddy.
I
Fletcher?
know Clayton,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a great dude, and he just wrote a new book of corporate, how to be funny in corporate environments and all that stuff. So props to Clayton.
Shout out to you,
Nice.
Clayton.
Very nice.
Kathy's
And
Kathy Arnold.
Kathy Arnold's
Kathy Arnold
fantastic.
rocks.
Yeah.
Everybody he named, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Olga Namer, love her.
Olga's fantastic, and she's hot. All right, so thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very
This
much.
was
And
so fun.
again,
having
let's
us.
do it
Thanks
again.
for
Let's
having
do it
us.
again.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely. All right, we'll see you guys. Today is Monday, so we got Steve Square tonight at 6:30, and then I'll be back here with Sean Elliott tomorrow. See you guys later.
Adios.
For your event today.
That was so much.
What will you experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And of course, some music. Knockem Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
Have a great night or what?
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
Had an awesome time.
All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about.